I'm Mrs. Preston, and this is Independent Living at Pocahontas Middle School. Today, we are working on being interior designers. I believe everybody's going to graduate as an interior designer today, and they're going to start their first task. So before we jump into it, we're going to review a few things that we've been talking about. So ladies and gentlemen, the very first day, we talked about balance, unity, and harmony. So looking at this picture, what is the balance? Remember the weight. What do you see?
The colors.
The colors. So that might be the unity, pulling it all together, right? But the balance, remember it was two words, thinking of a scale. Is it what? Asymmetrical or symmetrical? Izzy?
Asymmetrical.
It is asymmetrical because it's not perfectly balanced, correct? Everybody see that? All right, the unity. So the unity is what's going to bring everything together in this picture. So looking at the picture, what is the unity that you see? What's the unity that you see in this picture? Izzy again.
Some warm colors and like some neutral colors and like white colors.
Okay, so the colors. So the colors are pulling it all together. All of your warm colors and your neutral colors. Do you see a pattern on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a definite pattern on there, right? And it's starting to represent part of the lighting fixtures also. And then what's the harmony? Do you think it's harmonious? Do you think it all works well together? You think so? Yeah? Good? All right. Awesome. All right. So that is lesson 1, right? For your first day at design school. And then your second day, do you remember what we talked about? What did we talk about? The lines, right? The lines. Looking at the lines. So looking at this, right? We talked a lot about lines and the strength of lines, the space, the form, and the colors. So looking at the picture, what is the spacing? Do you think it's crowded? Do you think it's not very crowded? What do you think? What do you think? You can look right here too.
It's balanced.
It is very balanced. So what kind of balance would that be? So it's symmetrical, right? So that's definitely a part of the design element. This spacing, is it good or does it seem crowded? I heard somebody say it seemed a little crowded.
I think it's good for the room size.
For the room size?
It's got to be farther away from the desk. It doesn't look 3 feet.
You're right. It is really close to that area. So for the human dimension, which we also talked about, it is a little too close. But for the purpose of their photographer, that's why they did it. Now let's look at the lines. What are the lines telling us in this picture? What are the lines telling us? Do we remember? What kind of lines do we see here?
They're golden, straight, vertical lines.
So you see straight lines, straight vertical lines. What else do we see? There's also some straight vertical lines here. There's some horizontal lines. So what's it all starting to do? What's it all starting to direct your attention to? It's bringing the room together. So your focus becomes in this center spot, right? So what would be the main form if all of your focus is right there in this room?
The mirror.
The mirror?
I think it looks good.
Or the what?
The
The chandelier, right? It's bringing all of your attention right here. And it's kind of fun too because your colors are represented in the chandelier and around the room. So all those color values are starting to come in. You see the same hues, the same tones in everything, and it's bringing the harmony to the picture. All right, that was your day 2 of design, right? What was day 3?
Cutting things out.
The floor plan, that's right. We were using scale for the floor plan. So everybody on your rulers, What scale did we use? What did we use?
1/4 inch.
So everybody show me 1/4 of an inch, please. Show me 1/4 of an inch on your scale. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Great job. And then we talked about if one square on your paper was 1/4 inch and we needed something to be 5 feet, how many squares would we have to go? How many squares? 5, right? Because each square represents that space. Just like our tiles right here. Who remembers how big those were?
Foot.
A foot? Are you sure?
About half a foot.
You positive?
Not really.
That's exactly a foot.
So it's not about,
It's exactly a foot.
it's exactly 12 inches. In design, it can't be about. If you tell the architect, it's about this, do you think you might get a crooked wall?
Yep.
It's a good possibility. So being very precise with measurements. So when you all were doing your floor plans, right, we measured very precisely using your scales or your rulers. Okay? Everybody good? And in your boxes, I went ahead and I put your floor plans back in there in case you wanted to use them for this exercise or this activity. All right. What did you do last time?
Made our floor plan.
We measured the floor and we cut out our pieces.
So you measured your floor plan for what kind of room?
A small and a big.
A small and a big what room?
Bedroom and child's.
Child's room, right? It was a child's room. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've looked at space, line, form, color. We've looked at balance, unity, harmony. We've done floor plans. Congratulations. You get your first job. Are you ready? Now, your client needs a room for a 6-year-old child, right? A 6-year-old child. They can only spend $5,000. Sounds like a lot, but the average American between an infant to a 10-year-old spends roughly $5,000 on redecorating rooms. So that is their budget. Your floor plan must be in 1/4 inch scale. All right, 1/4 inch scale. You can upgrade your floor plans and make your rooms larger this time, or you can use your existing floor plans. The choice is yours. You must include a finish board with specifications and a vision or a mood board. All right. I upgraded my floor plan. It's a little bit bigger. I did some built-ins on my floor plan also. So I have some built-in banquettes, which is a really cool window seat. So if you want to do built-ins, you can do that also. And you have to create your mood board. So the purpose of the mood board, ladies and gentlemen, is to set the mood for the room. This is what you first show the client so you can really get the job, okay? They're like, oh, I like that. You have my vision in mind. You've got the colors I was really thinking about. Love the theme. Let's go ahead and move forward. You will get 20% of the design, okay? So, can you spend all $5,000? But their budget is $5,000.
But if it's right on 5,000, it should be fine.
But if you're getting 20%, would that come into your bottom line? Probably. So maybe you should spend a little less, right? What do you think you should spend so you don't go over budget? What do you? About $4,000 would give us how much profit? If we're making 20% off of this. 20% of $4,000 is what? $800, right? So, are we coming in under budget at $4,800?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So, about $4,100 would probably be your max. when you're presenting mood boards, it's also sometimes fun to present it with some fabric choices too. So they can really start seeing the textures and getting the feel of some items. So in a real presentation, you'd have everything laid out for the client to look at and feel, okay? Step 1 is your mood board. Colors. Remember I gave you guys homework? I said think about the colors you want for your room, okay? Everybody recall that? So hopefully you all thought of some colors. And back here, I have a whole series of color books for you. All right? So if maybe you forgot to do your homework, it's okay, because Mrs. Preston has you covered. Gentlemen, I found these really cool things at Lowe's with NFL paint schemes. All right? So if you are more interested in a boys' room, you have those. These other books kind of have things that work together also. All right? So if you get stuck, you're not really sure, you're always welcome to use these as hints. So when we talk about color, this room isn't very exciting, is it? It's kind of a little boring. But what if we changed the ceiling color? Would it get a little more exciting? Yeah. Or what if we changed the flooring? So when we're thinking about our room, the floor, ceiling, and walls don't all have to be the same color. Right? You can go ahead and add some extra tones to it, make it different, make it unique. So your color schemes on your boards. Everybody's going to have paper just like this, and you're going to put together your color palettes. Though you can also show your finishes if you want to put them together. Okay? So that is your color scheme, ladies and gentlemen. And if we have a color scheme, we probably need to think about our flooring also. Okay? Flooring. Is that just like the tile? Would it just be tile? What else could it be? Rugs, absolutely. So I have a whole bunch of catalogs up here that has a variety of rugs in them. You all can go through these. There's also tiles you can use for flooring as well. So you're going to be doing a finish board for flooring, and then your walls. Here's your paint colors. We've talked about your palettes. Okay, so definitely use some of these. And then over here, you see all of these books that we have laid out? These are wallpaper books. So you're going to go through and you're going to pick the wallpapers that you like for your room, for your walls. And I can't seem to get to one right now. It's so big. All right? And you can start to put together themes and ideas and designs. Do you think you need the whole entire piece when you're doing your walls? Yeah. You do?
No.
Are you sure, Brayden? No, so you just need a little piece, right? So just a little piece of it. All right, so we've got walls, we have paint, we have flooring. What else do you think we might need in a room? Furniture, right? Some furniture. If it's a kid's room, you probably want some organization too, okay? Organization and decor. So looking at shelves, different items like that. These magazines up here have all sorts of decorative elements in them, and they also have the costs of the items, because remember, you got to be budgeting it all out, okay? So thinking about your theme, your decorations, your organization, you're probably going to need dressers. You think? You're probably going to need lots of organization in a children's room. Furniture, really important. beds. What else? Anything else? Chairs. So we have some furniture magazines too, okay? You can look at beds, you can look at end tables, you can look at children's rooms designs or other designs. And then you gotta have some sort of light. So lighting, you definitely need your lighting. And again, these catalogs right here are lighting catalogs. So you'll find all sorts of different elements in here that you can use. And when you're looking through these magazines, you may find different fixtures of lighting or furniture in here too. You are welcome to use them. However, we've always got a cite, we've always got a credit, so make sure you're looking at where it's from so that you can cost it out, figure out the store, and price it. All right. We talked about your elevations. That is your extra credit piece. If you decide to do that, that's the plane that comes off of the floor plan and brings it up so that they can really see what it's like. And then we have our resources page. So making sure on a separate piece of paper or in the back of your packets that y'all are about to get, keeping all of your resources there along with your budget. So my entire budget for my design came to $4,080. So with the 20% design fee of about $800, did I come in budget? I did, right? Yeah, I did. And if the client really likes the stuff and it's a go, and we're gonna do all this, I know where to go to get all of my items. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? So I went through and I did the project just like you're going to do it. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just looking at paint, gentlemen, it's going to be a little hard to start thinking of an entire mood. Okay? This will probably be good for your color schemes to start jump starting, but then you've got to start thinking about the mood of the room. How are you going to set your tone? If you want, you can go over there and look through some of those wallpaper books and might jump start something for you. Okay. So you've got to really be thinking about your moods and your designs. So thinking about how you want the whole space to look. Remember, this is for a 6-year-old. You decide if it's a boy, if it's a girl, but it's a 6-year-old themed room. Like this one.
You have to cut these out?
Yeah, you would have to. Like what? Like, I think this is really pretty.
It is. For a guy's room, actually, yeah.
What? Is it going to be the whole wall? Is it going to be one wall? Is it going to be half a wall? One wall.
I think.
You can do one wall. These almost get washed out, right? But if you had your chair rail here and this was like a dark green, all that would pop. And then you have your wallpaper up there. Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed our lesson on designing a room for independent living and the interior designers.
Yo!